Hey guys, what's up? Tamara here. I'm very excited to be here today to talk to you about the finale of the Red Rising trilogy by Pierce Brown, which is entitled Morning Star. I'm sure tons of you know about this already. Everyone was really into Red Rising and Golden Sun. So yeah, it's time to wrap things up and find out what I thought about the finale of this trilogy. Per usual, before I start with that, I'm going to share what I'm drinking today. Today I have some nice yogi tea. It's actually very cold and rainy here, and so I am drinking my sweet tangerine positive energy tea. It is very yummy. It actually has a really sweet undertone and flavor where you don't even need any added sugar, which is great. It's a black and green tea with tangerine and lemon flavors, and I recommend it. It's really good. It's one of my go-to favorites when I feel like something a little lighter and I guess livelier tasting, if that makes sense. Without further ado, let's talk about the book. Okay, you guys, so if you don't know, this series is a young adult. Well, some people think it's young adult. Personally, I feel like it falls in the adult realm, maybe new adult just based on age range, but some people do think it's young adult, but it's definitely science fiction, no question there. Some may consider it a little bit fantasy, but personally I think it's science fiction. There's a little undertone of I guess romance, sort of, but not in the traditional romance setting, so it's definitely not mushy. It's a serious book. This book is about war. It is about breaking the chains and rising up and being bigger than what you thought you could be, defeating the people that hold you down, and taking friends and allies along for the ride. So if you don't know, I'll give a brief history. Basically, there's a color system here. There are reds are at the bottom. They have grays and pinks and blacks, obsidians and golds, which are at the top, along with a few others that I might be missing. Each grouping of colors have like their specific role in society. Like the reds are the people that live underground, and they are the miners, and they are keeping the infrastructure alive on Mars. And then you have golds that are the top of the food chain, and they are big and strong and wealthy, and all the things about society that people hate when it comes to a dominant society that's not democratic in any way, shape, or form. They just run everyone. Everyone else is their slave if you're not gold. Spoiler alert, if you haven't read the trilogy, just skip the next couple seconds. Darrow sets out on this journey in Red Rising where he is, I think, 18 years old, 17 or 18 years old, and he joins their army. He joins their school and he learns how to be a soldier. He learns the art of war. He makes friends there, gold friends, who think he's a gold. He's kind of like in disguise, undercover, infiltrating them to take them down, right? So we get there, we see some relationships develop, some friendships, some brotherhoods, brotherhood feelings develop between him and some people in his house. And then, we move on, and we're like, okay, yes, he made it through that. Yes, he is the winner. He won the, the top slot, and he is gonna be able to infiltrate the army. Then we move into Golden Sun. He is working behind the scenes with the son of Ares to take down the golds, and he is rising to power even more. It's getting kind of tricky because he has to deal with people he can't really trust, people who are kind of out to get him, while making sure that he's still himself while he's trying to attain this high level of gold. He almost gets where he is victorious, and then there's a cliffhanger at the end that makes you just want to scream. It blows your mind. People who you think are loyal to him, but you kind of suspect something bad would happen, well, that betrayal happened. And at the end of Golden Sun, we are kind of left like, oh crap, Darrow is in big you-know-what. And that is where we kind of pick up here. Except in Morning Star, we jump ahead by 1 full year. So Darrow has been in captivity for 1 year. We find Darrow beat up, abused, held prisoner in the dark by the Jackal and his allies. We know that the Sovereign hates Darrow, and the Sovereign wants him gone as well. And at this point, you know, the Jackal is really being as bad as he can be. And you know, you think he's bad now, you just wait. You just wait, this guy's gonna get even nastier. And throughout the book, we have highs and lows, and we're getting excited. And you know, it's a slow burn this whole book. Like, once Darrow, obviously, he cannot stay prisoner this whole book. Once Darrow is rescued, it's all about him kind of getting back into the groove of things, deciding who is going to be in charge of the Son of Ares. Is it going to be the new Ares, or is it going to be him? And there's a little bit of a tug of war there, and then finally it gives, and of course Darrow is in charge, as I expect. Throughout this, we come in contact with old foes and old friends. Like Mustang reappears, and I knew she would, and I knew that she couldn't be trusted immediately, but she is an interesting transformation. Victra, who you would never really suspect as being trustworthy, turns out to be one of the most trustworthy people on Darrow's team. I actually really liked the evolution of Victra's character. She is funny and mean when she needs to be, and kind when she needs to be, and kind of comical sometimes, the comic relief at times. And she is just, I think, outside of Darrow, I think Victra is my favorite character. Seriously, and I didn't expect that at all, because I didn't feel that way about Victra before this book. But don't let me get on a tangent. Anyways, so Mustang and Victra and Severo, the Howlers, and you know, a few other people that were allies of them in the past. And it's a very in-depth story, which I like. The plot was very forward-moving but complex at the same time. It definitely did not feel like a young adult title to me, because there was a lot of components going on, you know, and it wasn't a simple story, but I enjoyed every moment. There was this one part toward the end where I kind of just threw my hands up like I did in Golden Sun, and I was kind of like, I can't believe this is happening. I'm so angry right now. And it was from someone that you almost thought would be on their side, but then you're like, oh god. And then there's another plot twist. So I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but I'm telling you, there are moments where you're like, oh dear, it's nail biting. It's very edge of your seat thrills and chills and just heartache and happiness, and you go through the roller coaster of emotions with this title. As the previous two installations, I did listen to this on audiobook, and Tim Gerard Reynolds is the narrator, and he did a stellar job per usual with this series. I really enjoyed his ability to get into the groove with all these different voices and accents, and you know, you have the high gold talk, and then you have the red speak, and then you know, all the variations in between, the slang, the accents. It's just really phenomenal and really draws you in even more into the story. So I definitely recommend this one on audiobook. If you're into audiobooks, this would be one series that you'll definitely want to listen to on audiobook. I feel like it really adds a lot of value to the story and to the characters, so it's just a win-win situation. With all of that said, I would rate Morningstar 5 out of 5 bookmarks. Again, this was a stellar finale. I mean, at first, you know, I really wasn't sure if I would get the finale that I wanted, but I did. It all came together in the end. It was cohesive. It gave you hope for the future, and it gave us a lot of resolutions to things, which I thoroughly appreciate. I cannot stand when things end and it's kind of like, what was that? Thankfully, that's not what we got here. We got a sort of unpredictable yet sort of predictable ending. Some things are uncovered as far as Mustang and Darrow, which kind of go, oh wow, that's really nice. You know, it gives you a feel-good feeling. If you enjoy science fiction and fantasy, then these are definitely up your alley. Like I mentioned earlier, some people think of these as young adult books. I do not. So if you specifically enjoy the younger feeling YA books, stay away from this. There is blood, gore, you know, relationship stuff, cursing, you know, I mean, there is the gambit. It's a war book. It's a science fiction workbook, so just know what you're getting into. So I recommend this trilogy for anyone and everyone that reads adult books. So that's all I have on this today. Please let me know if you've read Morningstar or if you plan to read or listen to Morningstar. Let me know what you thought of it if you've already finished it. I would love to hear some other feedback on this book as well. Did you like it as much as me or not? Please like and share this video with your bookish friends, especially those that love science fiction. So that's it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy reading. Bye, guys.